Welcome back to part number 3 of my Imperator role playthrough as Epirus. We're off to a good start with lots of tribals that we're conquering. Fairly easy to do with Epirus's 13 martial. We also have been hiring mercs as needed. They are the only reason really that we're able to do this. We're allied with Rome. Things are stable. We have a fair number of cities that we have acquired over the course of our conquests. There's 1, 2, and 3 cities, as well as these 2 core cities. I've moved the capital here to Apollonia, abandoned Greece because there's more potential in the region of Illyria. It's also quite close to various tribal areas, and we can go up here and conquer these tribals and colonize that for essentially no aggressive expansion, and use the goods that we can sell to Rome and company to fuel our further expansion up through this area. And who knows, out this way, that way, it's essentially all open. But breaking through that wall here, there seems to be a huge defensive league. That Albocensia, Cotinia, Tillitania, and Dindaria are all affiliated with Scordesia. It's going to be a large war. And we're going to need some fairly fat merc stacks, and there's going to be a lot of chaos during said war, unless they break up, and they often do at some point. This is where the game starts to get very interesting relative to the way that I like to play. It's moving pops about, building cities, and trying to manage your resources. Gold specifically, I just sold all of the recent conquests, nobility or whatnot, into slavery. I raised about 300 gold. I've moved some pops out of this area we just recently conquered, Dardania or whatnot. They're presently residing here. We're here now. There are some wrong cultured pops here. And let's take a look at the ratios in our cities. That's relative to the interesting part of the game here, is trying to arrange it so that you can maximize your promotional activities and get these pops from places where they'll be not so loyal, specifically Druidic Scordesians, to places where they will be, which would be here, theoretically, the city. At least in theory. The problem is there are no primary culture pops here. And getting them there is going to be a trick relative to our resources. The good news is that we have quite a few Epiriote slaves here that are not doing anything, just sort of mulling about being slaves, because the ratios here are such that it's going to take a long time for these slaves to promote to freemen, and then the freemen to promote to citizens, and the citizens to promote to nobles. So there's no real reason to keep so many primary culture slaves in these cities. I think this one probably will suffer from the same problem. There's just so many slaves there that they're not needed. So what I was thinking of doing is moving some non-primary culture pops into these various cities, and then moving some of these primary culture slaves from these 2 cities into our city here that has no primary culture. I was thinking of much the same here. We have, let's see how many are here. There are 20 primary culture slaves there, and there are 9 here. So these guys that I just moved out of these recent conquests are residing here. I'm going to move them into these 2 cities, and then move the primary culture slaves here, and then here, here, and then into this city. It's going to cost some money, but I think it'll be worthwhile. I'm going to do all that. Let's stand down this merc as well. There's no way that we can continue to conquer, so I'll stand him down. I dropped a claim in Scordesia. Theoretically, these areas here are Hellenic. It's not a bad idea, really, to drop a claim. The Pannonia is a nice region. Once you get it humming, there's a fair clip of there's some farmland in there, and it's very close to, you know, open territories here. And you can actually build quite a few cities in Pannonia if you get an early start at it, which this is a fairly early start, so I figure why not do it? We'll maybe drop a claim here. And who are you exactly? Let's see. Latobecia. He's at war with the revolt. Also affiliated with... Let's drop a claim there on general principle. I'm not going to try to claim all of these. Just drop one claim in Scordicia and then trigger the lot. If worse comes to worse, Scordicia will unaffiliate with any of these others, and then we'll just take Scordicia and then have access to this uncolonized land, which is really what we want in the first place. Same can be said here for Carnia. We'll attack him and then just trigger these two and not really worry about claims. Saving our money and our PI for city building. I'm going to do all that. I'll be back. I saw it through about 500 gold, but I did get some primary culture pops up to Isa. So, and moved some, consolidated the pops, maxed out the city count here, or the pop count in that city. And just some time needs to pass. We'll lose our aggressive expansion and promote these various pops up. Let's see if our Legion count is higher as yet. It's not, no. We did get one more trade route, or actually, well, one more. It's gone now. But we were able to import some vegetables for a bonus of 25% for moving slaves, a lowered cost. And they have a surplus of furs now in the capital. How long that lasts, I don't know. We'll have this guy drilling. I should probably shift around the capitals of these various territories here, for instance, while the shifting is good. So there's a port here and a farmland. We'll build a city there at some point. Providence will lose 30 loyalty. What of it, I suppose. Let's see here. We may as well switch the capital to the island of Isa as well. We'll go ahead there and do that. Raise the pop capacity there slightly. I think the rest, maybe we'll build a city. We have a fair income here at 20 per. There's no city here. It's a little far out there. Perhaps we'll just leave that be for now. And we can build another city maybe here in this territory. Let's see, it looks good. It has settlement, farmland, coastal. This one any better? It should be the same exactly. This one here, I don't think this Providence has a city at all. So let's build one right there. And then we'll move the capital from here to there. And carry on. And more time has passed. I see no reason why we should not build another city. It's maybe just a little bit premature, but in the interest of not consolidating all these pops in the coastal territories, i.e. moving them from here down to these areas, I may as well pop a city here. And while it's 100% loyal, we may as well move the capital as well, say right here. We can't do it at peace. I think we got called into a war with the Romans somewhere in Sardinia. We did, yep. Our city has popped here, the coastal one. So we should be able to move quite a few pops there. I'm going to place some primary culture pops from various areas, I'm hoping, and get this city rolling along. There should be some extra primary culture pops here. I'm sure there are slaves mulling about here. And there are some here as well, moving them from these areas. Well, not costly. We have assimilation, I think, going here as well. So, and I think this provenance is assimilating as well. Let's see if we can move. We have any assimilative pops here? Nah, we have one exactly. Well, one is better than none. I think I misspoke. I moved some pops from the capital territory here. These two cities were overpopulated with primary culture slaves into here. It's not quite as populous as I'd like, but the ratios are such that it doesn't really matter. They'll promote quick enough. Again, the more pops you have in the city, the faster they'll promote, but we'll just not worry about it as we're sort of taxed for money. We're lacking money. What's next? We have an 11 aggressive expansion. These guys are still in a defensive league. I guess I could break down and file a claim against Borussia just for the interest of border war. Let's do it. We'll do that. Who knows? But this claim here seems actionable. We could trigger the small tribe here in Latobecia. I believe they're all Hellenic. They are. And we can get a little AE on the books, so we burn something. And then we can get a little closer to avoiding this massive league, and maybe we could gain adjacencies to Eravicia or Tauricia, and access this area where we could colonize as well. Probably one or two mercs. One merc will probably do it, but maybe two just because. The Romans have called us in again. I don't even know where this is. Do I really care? We're not going to participate, and they're not going to attack us. Another 10 years have passed. I'm going to give myself another 40 AE and forego the never-ending cycle of calling up and disbanding levies. So we'll take this right here. And we're about ready to declare war, generally speaking. I think this should still be actionable. It is. We are getting close enough to the 125 mark where I'm going to go ahead and trigger this so I don't lose out any research. So now we are have a maximum, I believe, of 150. We do. Let's try it here with just this one merc. I'm gonna roll up here, and let's see. We'll send him up to this area here. I have gained 1 point on my one cohort for my legion. Maybe there's another. There's not. I have called up a levy here to deal with a barb that popped up. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can hold this guy off with our taxes and this levy and let the merc do his thing. We'll probably have to call up another, who knows. The city of Valdes, Valasis has popped up here. We never were able to move that capital, but we do have... Well, maybe we'll just leave that alone as it's a war zone, or at least about to be. You know, we make a lot of money, and I know we're going to need this merc for no other reason than for food. We'll just get him rolling up here. Our manpower is such that we don't really want to lose any. And that Roman war is over, so we can disband these levies, as well as move that provincial capital while the moving is good. It cost us 20 loyalty, happy enough to pay. Another war with the Romans. Let's do it. He's going to take this area over here as well. Our omen is over. I think we can deify our ruler. We can't do it. Popularity must be greater than or equal to 90. We'll just forego it, and then we'll deify one of our rulers, or I believe it. You look at the ledger, we seem to have a few available, but Epirus is going to be the guy. Let's go ahead here and declare this war. While the declaration is good, let's see. The same combatants. It is. Histria will do it. On we go. And we'll carry forth. Let's see, we can take that. This capital is there. We'll go there. Looks like we've caught quite a few of these guys out. There's a lot here. And this as well, we're taking this capital. Stack wiped some of his cohorts here. So that siege goes well. We've taken this. Theoretically, we could go... got the wrong area here. Oops. We should stack wipe this as well. I think we've done it. Some barbarians have popped up here. Let's go and see if we can do it. Well, by the time we get there, they'll be long gone anyway, so we'll not worry about it. I should have gone after those barbs. These guys have snuck by. If I was on my way, I would have caught these guys out. I think we'll just get this guy and then hopefully catch that other straggler. Maybe the barb will get him. We caught this guy here, so that should be about that. More of these guys. Well, come on, come on. He has a merc on the way. I don't know, going to assault this fort. See if we can get that over with. Done it. Let's chase this guy down, hopefully. What goes on here? That's not even the enemy. That's, whoops. Well, we assaulted the fort. We got on our way anyway. I'm going to assault this fort as well. We've done it. Let's get on our way here. We caught this last straggler out that was wandering around our territories. Let's head up here. This merc is secure in this area. There's no fort. And it should wind up fairly quickly. Holy moly. I see the Romans have gone at it with Carthage. Well, we've got to do what we've got to do if we well, we may need to hire another merc after this war and stand down, but I don't think that Carthage comes and harasses us unless RNG is just mad. I'm going to assault this fort immediately. We should be able to close this war out quickly. Boom, we've done it. Let's head up here. We're going up here, and that should do it for the war. Phanagoria has won the Olympics. We get 6 stability. Yay for us. We've done it. So we will now delete this merc. We'll delete this merc as well. And we should be able to peace out here. Probably should have pieced out before deleting those mercs, but it's not relevant, as we'll just take all the territory and be happy. So we'll dredge up some money with these royals that we are going to sell to slavery. We'll get our legion back down here. Delete these forts. Mull about, collect money, and build cities is the plan going forward, unless Carthage requires us to hire another merc. I believe that we can indeed deify our glorious ruler now. We cannot? How can he not be that popular? How is it possible? I don't know. We just won a war, though. 89? Yeah. Yeah, well, that was a forced laugh. It's clearly, his game has a very interesting sense of humor. Well, what can I do, really? Okay, so we want to deify our ruler as Hades, or at least our internal version. So we may as well go ahead here and pop this aggressive expansion omen, as we're at war, an offensive war, I believe, against Carthage. That must be true. It is. And it's going to be a long one, so this AE is not going to come down anytime soon. Luckily for us, we don't really care. We don't care at all. And what we do care about is accessing this open land where we won't incur any aggressive expansion whatsoever for our colonial activities. And we have plenty of money, or at least we'll have, we soon will have plenty of money, as we're making 22.36 per. What we need to do is file a claim here or here. The question is who's more likely to become affiliated with other combatants? I think probably this Eravisia will probably become, he could join this massive league, although who really knows. This fellow here is already... Oh, they're allied with one another. But let's file it there, right here. 7 points. And perhaps we'll file it here instead. 32 is better than 7. I'm going to try to dredge up at least a few primary culture pops and move them into this city so that the thresholds for assimilation will be met and they'll assimilate faster. What we need, how many are there, and what do they comprise? So we need 8 primary culture pops, or we need to move some of these Qataris out. As it turns out, the assimilation policy in this province here has been fairly good to us. I think there are quite a few pops that can be moved toward that city. There's one here. There's one here. One here. One here. Actually, there's going to be quite a congregation there. Let's see if we move them. Okay, so there's should be 10 there now. We can move them here and then here. And then here. So that does it. That this area is now primary culture, and we can move up to 9 of any type of pop in there at our leisure, which is essentially right now. We can move 1 Qatari, so we'll stay away from the Qataris for now and just populate it with, well, what's the story here? It's Durians, and we can move 2 more in there. The rest are Qatari, and if we move 1 more, we can move 1 more Qatari. We'll do that. Good for us. So let's see, the pop, it was at, I think, 0.47 or something like that, but there's no malice to cultural assimilation now because we are the dominant culture. The primary culture, Epirotes, are a 10, and the Qataris are 9. Could probably use another city here. Let's do that. Get that ball rolling. There are a lot of pops that we just took in this area here. And the warm period is coming. We want to get them out and assimilating and such before that becomes a problem. As we're building cities, we may as well get a build cost bonus and city cost. We found city modifier there. We'll keep 1 in the bank just in case we begin to spike our research rate, which I think is probable relative to the number of cities we have and nobles, which are fairly slim or slight in number here, but should come on pretty hard once some promotional activities begin to occur, which they are. The more cities, the faster that will happen. Looks as though a barbarian spawned from this stronghold here, but it would appear as though our 5-man legion is going to be able to deal with him. Let's hope. We've done it. We may as well build another city right here. This area is as good as any other. There are already quite a few pops there. We have the money. And we need to increase surely the size of our Illyrian levy/legion and get more research. This episode is about a half an hour in. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't stop it here. There seems sort of an organic stop here. There's not really much going on. We could attack this. The claim just hit in Erevisia. We'll trigger this tribe here in Tauruskia as well. We'd probably have to hire 2 mercs again. It's doable, and that'll get us into the open territory here if we want to colonize. Let's see, our research rate is 123.58, a maximum of 150. We probably should use one of our renovations at this point so as to, for no other reason than not to forget, and we'll do it right now. The bookbinding, that should put us at 175. It is. And these guys are still in their defensive league. And we are still very, very meager relative to our ability to defend ourselves without mercenaries. We have one more legion that we've... let's grab a heavy infantry or cavalry. Why not have a cavalryman? We'll have that. Let's see if we can set this legion here for... I wonder if we put the calves on the flank. We'll put the calves in front, yeah. Good for us. Again, these guys are in a massive defensive league. I don't want to mess with them. We're going to take these 3 out sometime next episode, but we have 18 aggressive expansion, and why should I be in a hurry to get more? It'll just drive our stabilities down, which are happily a positive trajectory. Even these newly conquered territories are not really all that bad. I need to bank the money, which we make quite a bit of. Again, if we were not for mercenaries, we would not be able to do this. We essentially have no manpower relative to our behemoth of a neighbor of Rome. I'm quite sure Macedon could do a number on us as well. They have a lot of legacy cities with a lot of citizens and nobles and whatnot. And there are quite a few about that area. And they could do a number on us as well, even with our fat stacks. Or we need to, anyway, keep a prudent reserve, as it were, here for our gold, so we can hire as many mercs as needed, or as possible, depending on who we're to attack. We're in a war with Carthage. Haven't seen much of them. We'll not worry about it. The Romans look to be winning. I say let them leave them be. Let them head over in this direction. Good for them. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope to see you in the next one.